Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing this evening? Starting off in a different location tonight. It is currently 8:53 p.m. It's early. Alex is upstairs and he is working on some stuff in bed, some business stuff. Say hello, Alex.
Hi.
He's working on some work stuff in bed with the dogs. And I was just down here cleaning out the drawers. I've cleaned out these drawers that I've talked about forever. So, I have to show you what is so funny is I have like all of these pictures here, and then I have all of this like sobriety coins and stuff like that that I found, that like memory things. And so I thought I would show you guys some of the stuff that I have. So anyway, the pictures mostly. These are all pictures from back in the day when I was using, I don't know how great they're going to show up on video, but I'm just going to go through the pictures. They're just in no certain order. So this was in my very first apartment, and I had this pair of overalls on. Look how thin I was. Can you guys see it? I don't know if it says a date on here or not. It doesn't say a date. But I used to wear like overalls and long underwear shirts a lot. Then I found this picture of me and my mom from back in the day. And then you guys know the story that I'm talking about when, you guys know the story I'm talking about? I haven't even told it yet. The story where my mom and I were in Gatlinburg, Tennessee for the last Christmas. And did I show all these pictures? I feel like maybe I showed all these pictures. In another video I did. I also found my library card, which I was very excited about. I guess I haven't been to the library for a while. But when my mom and I spent the last Christmas in Gatlinburg together, and we were coming down from the mountain, and we got kind of like trapped on the mountain in the ice, and well, not trapped, but it was like very dangerous coming down, and my mom was like freaked out about it. And then we pulled over. It actually looks like it's the middle of the day in this picture, but it's the sun just coming up. And we pulled over, and my mom was like, "This is God," and this is the picture. And this is actually the picture that we used on her, the funeral flyer thing. Yeah, it says on here, May 08, which was the year that she passed away. So I must have got these done the year that she passed away. This was when I was using too. Look how thin I was. This is me on my balcony. I was so thin. This is me and Antigua. And this is probably like the happiest weight that I've ever been at in my entire life. And I had like khakis and this cute blue shirt on. This is like what I would like to get back to. My hair was brown. I had a little faux hawk going on. It's like the picture is like kind of hazy anyway. You can't really see it. So, but here's another picture of me from that same trip. I have like 2 Dean Koontz books on the desk next to me and some suntan lotion. Look at that. I used to wear, when was this? 04. May 9th of 04. God, it's crazy. So I would have been in this picture, what, 72 to 82, 82 to 92. 92. I was 32 years old, this picture. So this was a picture, it's actually double processed, and my friend that I always talk about, my friend that I went to like elementary, junior high, high school, college, and everything, she's in the bottom half of this, but here's me with blonde hair in high school. And then here's a picture of my mother smoking a cigarette. Here's a picture of Peter as a baby. Here are, I think the reason they're all in there is because I used them, I feel like I used them for something, like a video that I did. So, there was one set of my senior pictures from high school. This is my friend from California. We actually just took this. This was 6/11/21. This is when she was visiting. She had a little Polaroid camera. This was Alex and I at the Tonic Ball. That was 2 years ago, babe.
I know.
It seems crazy when we did this little photo shoot thing. That was so much fun, wasn't it? And then somebody sent me these pictures of me and Pee-Pee. Oh, the flying chihuahua. I miss him so much. And then this was a picture that my mom actually had printed off so I could put it in a frame for my dad. If you guys have heard the stories about my dad and his friend next door, where they would get strays, dogs from the street, and then they would like take care of them. And at one point my grandma went into like the garage next door, and they had like 30 dogs all in these like homemade beds. And my dad and his neighbor were like, they had like mended their arms, and they were like feeding them, and they had like 20 or 30 dogs in there that my dad was taking care of. He's always loved animals. So this was my dad's first dog ever, and his name was Bim. And this is him on my dad. You can't really see it very well. This is actually my dad sitting on the steps of their outhouse. My dad had an outhouse until he was 21 years old. Isn't that crazy? You guys are gonna die at what I found. Okay, well, I'll just show you it now. So my cousin Caroline, she can't find a picture of her, and she's gonna die when I show her this. So this is my grandma that I talk about all the time, my grandma that went to prison. And this is, she's actually feeding me a bottle. And on the back of it, it says, my mother in Evanston, Illinois, 1972, when Peter was born, Mom came to help me with Peter. So that's my grandma that I always talk about. I have another picture of her in here too. This is like how I always remember my grandma looking. Where's the other picture? Here's my grandma. It's another picture of her. And this is how, like, I always remember my grandma looking. Just always kind of tough. Mother, 1972, came to help when Peter was born in the kitchen, Evanston, Illinois, making a meatloaf, it says in quotations. So there's Grandma. And I found this pop socket that somebody sent me, and I never used it. I think I'm going to, because I've wanted a pop socket for a while. And it's Alex and I. And this is when we're at, like, Ultra Music Festival. Alex got this hat from Doji's. It's a Venezuelan hat. And my hat is from Ultra, and I used to wear it in all my drama videos. Remember that? Okay, and then this is... Who's in this picture? It's like one of those... It's me and Alex, Melissa, and Jason. Alex, when would we have done one of those photo booth pictures with Melissa and Jason? It looks like we're dressed for, like, the winter. It doesn't look like we're at Ultra. You have, like, your glasses on. Jason has, like, a coat. Oh, but you know what it might have been? Do you remember that one thing, like, right when you walk into Ultra and you go in there and you can take your pictures? It's like the Budweiser thing or whatever. They have, like, a photo booth thing, like, right when you go into Ultra. I wonder if this is what it is. But I used to always wear a hat, and I don't have a hat on for this. What was like a fundraiser or something that we went to, the four of us? I don't know. I'll leave it out here for you. Oh, here was another one of my senior pictures. Very model-esque. Oh, I'm going to save the best for last. So I found this spring orchestra concert, 6th grade. This is my 6th grade orchestra concert thing. I thought that was sweet, so I would keep it. We played My Favorite Things. That was the song that we played. Oh, I found this watch, too. This Jode watch that I didn't know that I had anymore. So I'm either going to wear it or Alex will wear it. It needs to be... I need a new battery in it. Yeah. Where's my name? 6th grade orchestra. Oh, there I am. Under violin. So there's that. Okay, oh, I love this picture. This is my favorite picture of my cousin Caroline and I. And I was probably like in my late 20s, and this was a Halloween that we had here. Caroline doesn't like it because her eyes are like half closed, but I think she looks so good. And I had this Tag Heuer watch in the picture that I ended up selling on eBay, and I wish I had never given it away or sold it. Okay, this is a picture of my mom at Estes Park. It says right here, Estes Park, Colorado. It's a meeting that they went to for September of 1980. So I would have been 8 years old. She loved that, going to Estes Park. This is a picture of me and a friend of mine. This is June 94. So this is 6 months before I got sober. And I was a mess. That can't be right. I got sober December of 94. Well, my friend, she moved like the year before. I wonder if I didn't get it processed till then. Yeah, because she moved like the year before, and my hair was longer when I went in too. So, yeah. Here's another picture of my mom. Oh, this is a good picture of me right here. Okay, so you know when I talk about, you can't see them. It's in the very bottom of the picture. I wish you could see it. I think I have a picture somewhere where I'm high kicking it in the video. But this was my apartment in this was my very first apartment that I had. You can see, yeah, these pictures, I must have all got them developed at the same time. Because you can see that I have like the plants hanging down. I don't know if you can see this, but there's like right here, I don't know if you can see, there's a really long plant. That plant went all the way down the floor. There's my fireplace. Look how thin I was. I looked good. But if you look down, I have the I have the heels on that we used to keep in the apartment, my old roommate and I. This was a picture I took. It says on the back here, it was like 15. I was trying to do the date in my head. It was looking very... It was probably a photo shoot we did with me and my friends. Then I found this picture of my mom. This was the day that David was born, and there's Caroline in the hospital. I just sent this picture to her. I just found it. And then, okay, so I ended up, well, I'm like, should I pull it out of the trash? Hold on a second. Because it's kind of sad. So anyway, hold on a second. Where did I put it? Oh, I must have kept it over there. So I found this note that my mom's friend, my aunt and my mom's friend, had sent me. And it said on there, I found this, she was going through her stuff. Like the note said, hey Peter, I'm going through my stuff so that when her two kids, when I die, like they won't, when I'm gone, they won't have to go through all my stuff and clean out all this kind of stuff like Caroline is doing for her mom. And so she said, I found this picture, and she said it was that your mother had sent me, and I wanted you to have this, which I have like bigger copies of this in the basement. But what was sad about it was this woman just passed away like a year ago. And I was like, oh, this is so surreal. Like, this is so weird. So anyway, this is the picture. It was a Christmas card for my first Christmas. Isn't that sweet? Yeah, it's a silent night on it. Look at me. Look how cute I was. Okay. And then the last picture that I have, this is so fantastic. So this picture is like 6 months before I got sober. Does it have a date on the back of it? It actually does. I can't read it. It's so faded. Okay, so this was August of... No. This would have been the year before. So this was August 93. So I guess it was like a couple months before I got sober. Oh, my hair looks so good in this picture. It was like real short on the sides, and I just faux hawk and stuff like that. But it's a picture of me laying on my dad's couch in the basement. And I like come over there and completely passed out. And it says, my dad wrote on this, like, you can see it's like a doctor's like file folder. He wrote on here, success waiting to happen. You asked for it, you got it, Dad. So those are all of my pictures. I mean, not all my pictures, but those are the pictures that I found. There's some fuzz floating around. And then I still do kind of room keys, but I found a room key from the Cosmopolitan, another one from the Cosmopolitan, another one from the Cosmopolitan, another one from the Encore, from the One Hotel, and then a bunch of, oh, I didn't know that I kept this in here. Tati, when she sent me something in the mail, she sent me a little note, which was very nice. She said, hope you enjoy this bottle of Halo. It is not PR. She put not underneath there. Just a friendly thank you for being a sweetheart. It was sweet, wasn't it? And then I found some fan art stuff. Well, fan art, I hate saying that, but you know what I mean. Art that people sent me. So I'm going to keep all of that stuff. And then I found my 20-year sobriety coin, which I keep all of those like in one place together. So, and then I also found my 6-year sobriety coin. I don't know why what it's doing in there. So that's all the stuff that I found. That's all the stuff that I found. So my 2 drawers are completely, well, our 2 drawers are completely cleaned out. Now they just have like batteries and lint rollers. Babe, that lint roller's down there if you ever need it. And then flashlights. By the way, I just want to tell you, I was going to do a review of this, but I bought this Shark, what do you call it? Shark vacuum. And it was kind of pricey. It was like $129, but we don't really have a vacuum that we use because we have wood floors. And so I was like, this will be perfect for like around the corners and stuff like that under the bed. And the first time I used it, I got it and I told Alex, I was like, this was such a waste of money. I wish I hadn't bought it. It doesn't really pick up anything. And Alex was like, we'll send it back to Amazon. I'm like, oh, that's just such a mess, right? By the way, I still have not, after trying to get a hold of these people, this thing that I bought for the dogs for Christmas. So I bought 2 of these, okay? And what they are is, this is Tucker's. We haven't taken it out yet. But it's a little lambikin, okay? And then there's a little heart that goes inside of it. Here, I'll show you. There's this little heart that goes inside. I actually haven't opened it yet because I was waiting to get the other one, but forget it. We'll just open it and see what it looks inside, like inside. So it comes, well, this is weird how it's all packed. What do you do with this? Oh! So it comes with this little heart monitor thing that looks like this. And you put a battery inside of it, which we have a bunch of batteries, I just found it. And then you put it inside of it, and then I guess it just goes all the time, or do you turn it off and on? I don't know, I'll have to figure it out. But anyway, and then it just like boom, 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 beeps. So that for the dogs, like when we're gone, they won't have separation anxiety. But the other one never came, so I was just like, whatever. There's that. This is like show and tell tonight, isn't it? Oh, but this is what I was going to say. When I took the Christmas trees down, over there, but this way, and that way, and that way. But over there, I took a Christmas tree down. But in the bedroom, it's a flocked, well, both of them are flocked trees, but the one down here that I use, it's like not that bad. But the flocked tree upstairs in the bedroom, like, I mean, you can't even touch the tree, and it's just like flock stuff goes everywhere. So when I took the tree down and I removed everything, I was like, we'll see how this works. I mean, it is spotless over there, you guys. It cleaned up every bit of little fuzz and dust ball and everything. So let me just retract my statement about this. This Shark works really, really well. So I'm really excited about it. But I will tell you what I did was I used the attachments on it. Here, I'll show you. So it has these different attachments on it. And the attachment that I use, it's really simple, is this one. Oh, look, there's like dust balls on it right now, see? And then you just go. That works really well. So, yeah, I'm impressed with it. I wasn't at first, though, but we got to find a place to keep it plugged in, because I don't know where to keep it plugged in. Okay, so what else did I want to show you? Oh, I have this over here. My husband, because he knows I love trucker hats, and he wanted to kind of like move up my, hold on a second, I want to take this off. He wanted to kind of like improve my game a little bit. Wasn't this so sweet? Taking the tags off of it. For Christmas, how do you do this? Let's get the tag inside. For Christmas, Alex bought me, I have to work it in a little bit. I'm going to use it for the summer. He bought me this Gucci trucker hat. Wasn't that so nice? I love it. So I took the tags off. Their stuff is so nice. It came in this beautiful box. But it has this tag inside. Look at the back, the little strip is cute. And I can tell you're supposed to take it off. But I don't know how you're supposed to take this off. You're supposed to cut it off or what you're supposed to do. Because there's like, oh, I see. You go in behind here. That's how you do it. Okay. Well, I don't want to cut it right now. I need smaller scissors to do that. Our smaller scissors are upstairs. So, it's back in the box. Here's the apples that my neighbor brought us. We haven't eaten them yet. I made a list tonight of all the TV shows I want to watch. Do you guys want to know what they are? I'm going to tell you, okay? Look at all these TV shows I have. La Brea, Clickbait, Cruel Summer, Walking Dead, Fear the Walking Dead. Well, Walking Dead, I made it through about 7 seasons. Fear the Walking Dead, I made it through the first season. Walking Dead World Beyond, I started it, I watched one episode, I thought it was corny, so I don't know if I'm going to watch that. Love Victor, I haven't seen the 2nd season yet. Midnight Mass, Squid Game, The Servant, Yellow Jackets, Dope Sick, Cheer, Archive 81, Stay Close, Grace and Frankie, Ozark, Monsters in the Shadows, Manifest, Black Summer, Harlan Coben's, oh wait, I spelled that wrong. Harlan Coben's Safe on Netflix, The Eyes of Tammy Faye, the movie. I need to put movie on here. Our friend just told us it was fantastic. Beanie Mania on HBO Max. Euphoria, I'm going to start from the very beginning and watch it, in Paradise Hills. Hey babe, did you watch Ozark yet? The new season has. You did? Yeah. Because Valerie said she watched it in like one day. Here it is. How many seasons has there been? How many seasons have there been?
3.
Their 3rd season's out now. It's number 9 in the USA today, so it has to be new. I haven't ever started to watch that. So, I'm going to go put on my boot. Where am I at on time? I'm going to go put on my boots. I'm trying to get a hold of Tanya because I had some stuff in there, post-it notes that I found and whatever, and I was going to give her that stuff, but she hasn't called me back, so she must be asleep or something. So I'm going to go put on my boots and make a cup of coffee over on the Keurig, and I will be back in just a few. Okay, I'm back. Did you miss me? I was gone like a second for you guys, wasn't I? So I actually left the house to go vlog, and I was talking to Tanya Jean on the phone. I wanted to see, tonight cleaning out the drawers, I found a half-used lip balm. So I threw the other one out that was empty, and I put this one in my bag. I also found about 10 or more, 10 or 15 Lunar Beauty, Celine, and well, other ones too. I have Coven and what is it? Cherub's Kiss or Angel's Kiss or something, and then Celine lip balms from Lunar Beauty. But anyway, I left to go vlog, and I was talking to Tanya Jean. I called Tanya Jean. She didn't want to get a fountain pop. She's like, I'm in for the night. She was like cleaning stuff up and watching The Real Housewives. And our friend had told us to watch this documentary on Oxygen. And Tanya said she stayed up way late last night watching it. She said it was so good. It was called, I will tell you. Hold on a second. She texted it to us. When did she text it to us? Here. Where is it? The Monster Inside or something like that? Where is it? In my like drink. Oh, here it is. It is called Monster in the Shadows, an investigation of 2012 disappearance of Alabama teenager Brittany Wood reveals a truth more shocking than anyone could imagine. And Tanya said it's like one of the best documentaries she's ever seen. She said it was really sad though. So anyway, I was talking to Tanya Jean and I was like driving and I was getting ready to get off the phone and vlog, and I was like, and she was like, what are you doing? And I said, well, if you don't want to get a fountain pop, I'm going to start vlogging. I said, I already did some in the kitchen. And she goes, yeah, I just want to stay. And I said, oh, I totally forgot to post my vlog. And it's been ready for like 4 hours. So anyway, now I can't really remember what I talked about earlier, or did I just show pictures? Our trash can right there, which I realized, I was like, oh, you know, Monday was Martin Luther King Day, so trash won't come until tomorrow. But our trash is sitting out there full to the brim with all of that Christmas pine cones and evergreen stuff. So this morning, I went to bed early last night, and I was in bed. I like looked at the clock and it was 1:18, and I like turned over and faced the puppies and was talking to them, and that was the last thing I remember. I was out. The next thing I remember is Alex was getting up for work and he was getting ready, and I looked at the clock and it was like 8:30, 8:40 or something. I think it was like 8:38, 8:39 or something like that. And I was like, oh my God, I did not wake up once last night. And I snore pretty bad. And Alex was like, you didn't snore at all last night. He was like, you must have been deeply sleeping. And I was like, yeah, I was. So I got up and I still felt tired though. I think it was because the night before I really only got like 6 hours of sleep, and then I just like worked doing stuff. So Alex is like, well, what do you have going on? And I said, I really kind of want to go to that Rise place for breakfast that we went to a while ago. I got the cinnamon roll and stuff. And in fact, actually the cinnamon roll is on the seat behind me, the leftover cinnamon roll. Because he said, well, you want to go to breakfast? And I said, can you go into work late? And he was like, yeah. Because he has a late day tomorrow. So he was like, I can go in. I have a long day tomorrow. He was like, so I can go in late today if you want to go have breakfast. So we went and had breakfast. And it was really fun. I had a vegetarian omelet with this like potato cake thing on the side that's so delicious. I had coffee and orange juice. The coffee there was so good. And a glass of fresh squeezed orange juice and water. It was just really fun having breakfast with him, like as we started our day. And then he went to work and I came home, and I got home, oh, I don't know, I did some stuff on the computer, and then I like got the dogs and I like took them upstairs, and I was gonna lay down, and it was like 11:45 at that point. And I was like, I'm just gonna lay down for like 2 hours. I guess it was like 10:30. And so I set the alarm for 1. You guys, I slept like the majority of the afternoon. I don't know what happened. I don't know why I was so tired. I don't know why I needed so much sleep, but I was like exhausted out of it. I was like, I was like out. So yeah, I got a lot of sleep today. And then I got up and I was like, I need to do something. So I had been like uploading my vlog throughout the day anyway, like rendering it and uploading it. So I made a drama video. And I made so many videos yesterday, I was like, and posted some of them later. I was like, well, not later, but like, anyway, I posted so many videos yesterday that I was like, I am not gonna like do a whole day of like double, posting all those videos. But I did have fun yesterday posting all those videos. So in the next couple weeks, I probably will be posting more videos on most of my channels because I've got all kinds of ideas and whatever. So yeah, that was my day. And then Alex came home and we just kind of hung out and talked and stuff. And I cleaned out those 2 drawers tonight while Alex was working upstairs. He was working upstairs on some stuff on the computer with the dogs. So I cleaned out those 2 drawers, which I felt so good about getting that done. And then Alex and I had talked a little bit at breakfast. I was like, are you really serious about this like going to Florida thing for like 3 or 4 weeks? And he was like, yeah, I am serious about it. And I was like, and you can get the time off. And I was telling him, I said, because Tanya was like, I mean, for me, that would be my 50th birthday. That's what I would do, instead of like maybe going somewhere exotic for a week. And the more I thought about it, I was like, I really think like 3 or 4 weeks in Florida, just getting away, going to the beach whenever we want, laying out by the pool, you know, all day. Like, that for me would be such an incredible trip. And when I started looking, you guys, at the houses to rent, it's like cheaper than us doing like a week in the Caribbean. And I was like, oh, like, this is like a no-brainer. And then we could go for the week of my birthday for like 5 days or something to Miami. And, you know, do that. Or if the rates were really low, like Mexico or something like that. So we talked about it, and I started looking on Airbnb, and we were looking at houses and stuff, and we're like, this is really doable. Like, we think we're gonna do it. And one of the things that we looked at, though, I was looking at like 3.5 weeks. When you do 30 days, it's actually, with Airbnb, I don't know why this is. Does anybody know? It's cheaper to book a house or a place for 30 days than it is for like 3 weeks or 2.5 weeks. I mean, it like cut off major cost on some of these houses that I was looking at. I was like, this is really doable. I mean, nice houses with like pools, some of them waterfront and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, this is gonna be I looked at, I got so excited. I was like, what are we gonna do all day long? And Alex is like, well, I'll be working. And I said, okay, well, I'll be filming videos for 2 hours and being by the pool the rest with the dogs. And we were like talking to Boo and Tucker, and we were like, do you want to go to Florida? And Boo Rowley was like, wait, I've never been to Florida before. I was like, do you guys want to go and, you know, put your feet in the pool? They would have so much fun. They'd like, you know, find lizards in the yard and stuff like that. So I think we're going to do it. I think it's going to be our thing. I think we're going to try to make it happen. We just don't know when it's going to happen yet. I would personally like to be back like before the last week or 2 of May, just because that's when it gets really nice in Indianapolis. I want to put the plants out in the front yard, you know, get our walkway done and all of that, and then the pool open, and then I've got the whole summer, you know what I mean? Which will be a blast. And, so yeah, super excited, super excited about that. I think that's what we're gonna do. Which then, if we did that, it would be Valentine's Day in Miami, then girls trip to Florida, and then, oh, well, then we're going to Miami in March as well, and then we would do 3.5, 4 weeks in Florida, April, May, and then a few days for my birthday in June, and then August, probably Las Vegas for our anniversary, and then September, I might do like a split trip where I visit like Mel for 2 days, and then and then Alex flies out to San Diego for 2 days, and then we visit Fufu and Jesse out there for 2 days, September. And then New Year's might be Mexico. We're also thinking about maybe doing Hawaii with Melissa and Jason. But then I got a lot of comments when I said that on my vlog that people were like, Hawaii during New Year's can be really, really rainy. But I was talking to somebody about that, and they were like, my friend goes to Hawaii every year for Christmas and New Year's, and it's beautiful. So, I don't know. But anyway, lots of exciting things happening. Lots of exciting things happening. I'm like super pumped. I mean, I'm pumped about all of it, but like I'm really pumped about the girls trip because that's something I've wanted to do for a long time and haven't done. So I feel like that's kind of like a bucket list thing for me. My bucket list places or things are not necessarily places to go. It's more like spending time with people, you know? So that would be fun. And the idea of just like living in Florida for a month when we've like wanted to do that forever, I am like, oh my God. And the fact that we just started talking about it and then it's like, okay, we're like making it kind of a reality is really exciting. I said to Alex, I said, okay, are we like for real talking about this? Because I made a joke because like Boo Radley like looked back, like Alex was holding him and he looked back at him and I go, whoa, wait, is this like real talk or fake talk? And I said, no, I'm joking. But Alex, I said, for real, like, is this something that we're really talking about doing? And he was like, yeah. We also talked about, I don't even know that we could afford this, the possibility of having something done to our house while we were gone. Like, you know, starting like some of the redo on our house while we're gone. But I don't think that we would probably have being gone for a month would be expensive anyway. But other than renting the place, it really wouldn't. So, I don't know. Pretty exciting. And Alex is like, yeah, and we could have people come down for the weekend or a couple days. I was like, ooh. I know you. Let's not start talking to all of our family who will be down there for 3 of the 4 weeks. I said, if they want to come down, that's fine, but they can pay for their way too, you know. And he was like, you wouldn't want to have Tanya come down for a couple days? I said, I would love to have Tanya come down for a couple days. Do I want Tanya to come down for 2 of my 4 weeks? No, I love her, but I would just love to get up every day and just be by the pool and, you know, go to the beach and just relax and watch TV and, you know. I think then too, we could also figure out, like, if it was really something that, like, if that's really an area, like, how much, Alex is looking at places like in South Beach and stuff, and I'm like, I'm wanting more of, like, if we're going to be down there for that long, like a pool. So, which I don't know why he wouldn't, because, like, then all day long we could just work outside next to the pool, which I think would be fantastic. I'd film my Peterisms videos out there, have a little garden area, do real inspirational videos, and it would be so fun. Don't you think that would be fun? I think it would be fun. So, I don't know, but we're kind of planning that right now. It was sad when I was, like, reading that card about, from my mom's friend, where she sent the Christmas card. I was like, it's so strange to think that she, like, went out of her way to send that to me several years ago, or whenever she sent it to me, and then now she's gone too. I remember the day that another one of our family friends reached out, so we've always family friends, right? Between my cousin and I, my aunt and my mom had a lot of family friends, but then their kids, it's like now our generation that keeps up with each other. And so he reached out, his mom's still alive, and he reached out to, this guy, let me just tell you, okay, to keep his mom safe, like, they have a lake house, and they stayed at the lake house, I'm not even lying to you guys, for like a year, and like almost 2 years, a year and a half, and I think over a year and a half, and every day they would do a puzzle. And I love this guy so much. And he would post puzzles, he and his mom, and they would, like, be side by side of them doing puzzles. And it would be like COVID puzzle number 5, COVID puzzle number 1, COVID, you know. And they did like 300 puzzles or something like that. And it was all this time that he spent with his, I mean, he didn't leave. He just stayed there because, you know, he didn't want his mom to get sick. And, you know, she was elderly and stuff. And this was during the lockdown, but this was also much after that as well. Just until recently. And, so he started walking every day. This lake house is, like, in this beautiful area of Indiana. And they've had this lake house forever. I mean, I think, like, her family had it before she was even born and stuff, or something like that. And then they redid the house or whatever. But it's gorgeous lake home. It's like a lake home. It's not just like a lake house. It's like, well, I don't know what the difference is, but I mean, it's a nice, you know, home, and like this huge yard and boat and stuff like that. But anyway, he would walk all through the neighborhood. So, like, every day he was walking like 5 miles, and he started doing Noom. Do you guys, like, know what I'm talking about? I mean, he is, like, sworn by, he's like, Peter, you need to do this Noom thing. So he started doing Noom, and he was heavier, and he lost, you guys, like, in a year and 6 months, doing Noom and walking, he lost like 140 pounds. Like, he doesn't even look like the same person. He looks absolutely incredible. Like, I message him all the time and I'm like, you are so inspiring. And he just keeps it up, and he just went and bought a bunch of new clothes, and he was real excited because he has kind of like a fun job. And so he had to go buy like new suits and stuff for his job, like that he just started going back and doing again. And so, and I'm like, I see these pictures, I'm like, oh my God, this is so cool. Like, he, you know, like he's so excited about dressing nice again and whatever, you know. It's like, I don't know. But it's really inspiring to me. I don't really understand the Noom thing. I've looked into it a couple times, but I don't really understand it. But he still walks like every day, and he said it was basically just like calorie counting, but then you like have somebody that you can talk to if you like need to talk to, like I guess like a weight loss counselor or something like that. It's like an app. I don't really understand it. If somebody understands Noom or has used Noom, put it in the comment section below or email me, because I would like to know more about it. Because, I mean, there's somebody that I know that it totally worked for. So if you're looking for something out there that's something different, I don't know, maybe check it out. It's Noom. And no, this video is not sponsored by them, but I wish it was. So yeah. What was I talking about him? Oh, he was the one that called me and told me that our family friend had passed away. Because it was like all of our moms that like hung out and were friends and stuff. It seems unbelievable to me, you know? The more and more people that are gone. It's so weird to me. Like, I talked to my dad the other day, and like I had just gotten a New Year's card from Susie. And Susie, like, I mean, she doesn't look 40, but I mean, she doesn't look like her age either, you know? I mean, she looks good for her age, and she's like this picture with her and her grandkids. And I'm like talking to my dad on the phone, and it's like, my dad is like, I don't even like saying like he's so coherent, like he shouldn't be for 81. I mean, like, my dad's like this, like, exact same on the phone that he was 30 years ago, you know? He's like laughing and telling me stuff and whatever. And, I know it's hard, because, like, I know he's not going to be here forever, and we have other family friends that I know aren't going to be here forever, but then, when that's, like, what I see, I honestly, like, I don't really have a lot of friends, at this point, who's, I mean, I know somebody very close to me who's, has a family member that's in assisted living, but it's because they have dementia. And it's really hard, and they needed 24-hour nursing care, and so she's like, she has her own apartment, but it's like, you know, it's very assisted, and it's supposedly like it's a beautiful facility and stuff, but other than that, like, I don't know a lot of people that are in retirement homes, or like, I don't know a lot of, like, I don't have a lot of friends whose parents are in retirement homes or assisted living programs, and yet they're in their 70s and 80s. I mean, Alex's grandma is, what, 92 now? 93? 92, I think, or she'll be 92. I mean, and she lives with Alex's aunt, you know, sure, but, like, she seems so healthy to me. I mean, she sits there and drinks a beer or a glass of wine, and she'll dance and stuff, and, I don't know. It's just like, I just don't even think of her as being like, I mean, I know she's elderly, but I don't even think of it that way. You know what I mean? Like, she's just got such a spirit about her. Alex talked to his friend today, and his boyfriend had passed away. He said it had just been like really, really horrible. Like the last month was so bad. And I was like, when was it that we saw them? It's so sad. positive note, though, I think if we did go to Florida, it would be hilarious to see Boo and Tucker running around a pool all day long. I kind of like to give them that experience in their life, you know? We were talking about it tonight. I knew it was kind of like in the back of his mind. I didn't say anything, but I knew it was probably making Alex a little sad because, like, one of his dreams was always to take Pee-Pee to the beach. He would always say, okay, Pee-Pee, I'm going to take you to the beach. One time before you're gone, I'm going to take you to the beach. And he never got to take Pee-Pee to the beach. I mean, we never did. We could have, I guess, but we just didn't. And he was always like, you know, I wish I would have taken Pee-Pee to the beach. And Pee-Pee was terrified of water. He, like, fell into, I can't remember the story. It was when Alex was in college. He was real little. And, like, Pee-Pee was, like, less than a year old or something. And he was, like, walking along, like, a pool. And he fell into this pool, or some dog knocked him into the pool. Some other buddy's dog knocked him into the pool or something. And Pee-Pee, like, panicked. And Alex, like, panicked and jumped in the pool. And Pee-Pee hated water. He hated getting baths. I mean, he was good about it. He would just sit there and let you give him a bath, but he did not like it. And he didn't want to go near pools and stuff like that. I mean, he just didn't like water. And I kind of think, I was thinking about it tonight. I thought Boo Radley would be the one that likes water more, but I really, in the long run, I think it would be Tucker that would like water more. I don't know why. I think he liked that it was so cool, you know, and it's he's like cool in his little body sitting out in the heat and stuff like that. I think that would be fun for them. I think it'd be fun for us. I think it would be great for us. Do something completely different. And I'm glad that we have, you know, that as an opportunity. I don't want to wait until I'm 65 or 70 to do some of these things. And I think that's been part of my fear, you know, is that, like, we have all these great plans, but all these great plans take a lot of money. And it's like, okay, to have a place in Florida. Well, here's kind of a way to have a place in Florida that is still pricey, but it's not as pricey as if we bought a place. You know what I mean? And maybe it's stupid to do that when we could put that into a place. But we don't really know necessarily where we want to be yet. And I think if we had a place in Miami, like, obviously we cannot afford a home with a pool, like a lake, like waterfront on the intercoastal house with a pool. We obviously 3-bedroom, like, we can't afford that, right? Even if we could, I don't think that's what Alex would ever want in Florida. I mean, Alex really wants a condo and, you know, and all of that. And I've always just kind of been like, whatever we do in Florida is going to be, I mean, it's his dream and that's where he'll end up. So, and that's where we'll end up. But when I'm gone, he'll, you know, it'll be his place. So I'm like, let him pick out what he wants it to be. And so we had always just talked about getting, like, you know, a condo and a high rise, which I'm totally open to that, you know. But to go there for 3 to 4 weeks to stay and just then, like, drive around and vlog at night, or because I wouldn't just sit on the back patio and vlog. Like, better believe I would get in my car and you know, vlog as well and drive around. So I mean, to do that, I wouldn't want to be in the down. I mean, plus the other thing is if we stayed in Fort Lauderdale, because the houses that we're looking at are like in Fort Lauderdale, like Wilton Manors and intercoastal area, close to the beach. I mean, we could go to the beach every day. We could go into Miami to go out if we wanted to. It's something, I don't drink, so it's like we can always drive back. It's like 45 minutes, a half an hour. You know what I mean? If we wanted to go to the beach for the day in Miami, we could just drive down there, come back. It's a half an hour. It would be ideal. I think it would be so much fun. Alex is like, we could fly down there and whatever. And I was like, no, we need a car, first of all. And then he was like, okay. And he was like, well, you could drive. And I said, no. I said, because I'm going to need help with the dogs. They've never done like a long road trip like that before. And he started laughing. Because he probably would have to fly up here for some meetings and stuff. And so I said, plus, babe, I said, I want to take like my fan. I said, you know, we would take probably the dog's crate. We would have to like undo it and take it down there so that we had a crate in the house, you know, because we crate them when we're not at home. And I said, plus like my ring light, and I would want to take, you know, certain clothes with us. And we would have to take this car because his Jeep, like, well, he leases it, first of all, so I don't think he could put the miles on it to go down there. Maybe, I don't know how that works. You just pay extra or something. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'd rather have like a Jeep Wrangler down there for a month, but if we don't end up doing it this year, then maybe we'll plan ahead and do it next year, you know? But I really want to do it this year. I don't want to keep on waiting to do things in my life, you know? It's like, I feel like it was like 10 years ago when I started seeing all these people travel like online and whatever, you know, and they'd go stay here for, you know, 3 weeks, here for 3 weeks, and, you know, they'd get a little apartment and do it that way. And it's like, I thought that's so ideal, but at the same time, like, I love my home, like I love being at home too, you know? So I didn't really want to do that because I was like, I want to stay at home and enjoy my home and all that, which is why, like, if we did this, it would be perfect because then we would be home for the majority of the summer, except for, like, you know, a trip for our anniversary and a trip for June, unless we ended up booking something in July. Who knows? July might be a fun time to go to San Diego to see Fufu and Jessie, and just like not, you know, for any reason, but just to like hang out. So if we wanted to do a spur of the moment trip, we could do that maybe. That's a long flight. I do not love that flight to California. It's like 5 hours. It's like just, I mean, I know that doesn't sound like a long flight to a lot of people, but to me it sounds like a long flight. And I don't know, we'll see. We'll figure out something. Oh, we had talked about going to visit our friends in Denver too. We kind of talked about doing that over Pride weekend or whatever, but their Pride weekend, I think, it stopped. But Denver's Pride weekend, I think, is my birthday weekend. And no offense, but I don't want to go to Denver Pride for my birthday. That's not my dream. So I'm just gonna have to figure out some things and see how we're gonna make it work, and we will make it work, and it'll be fun, and I'm excited. So there's that. We're even talking about like if we did it like when we would leave and when we would get there, and I said, babe, we could just leave after you got off work. Like the old days of the road trip that I was just talking about, you know? And then we could just drive through the night, and I could start the drive at like 8 o'clock, and then, you know, we could just drive straight through. I mean, I would, and then we could just stop every couple hours, get gas, and take the dogs out and stuff like that. Has anybody done a long road trip like that with their dogs? I know that when people fly, they sometimes have their vets give them sedatives for their dogs, but would you do that if you were like on a road trip? I mean, that's like a 19-hour road trip. It's a long road trip for two little dogs that aren't used to being in a car that much. I think think they'd be completely fine, honestly. I think they just sleep the majority of the way. Oh, gosh. Exciting plans. Exciting plans. You know what maybe I would do if I did that? If we really did go down there for a month, like an entire month, I think maybe what I would do, I mean, obviously make videos and stuff because that's what I love to do, but I think I would plan on, like, I would outline it before we went, and I would write a book while I was down there. And I would just take that month to, like, work on a book. Not a long book, mind you. Not a super long one, but a book. Or get one started, you know? Because back in the day, when I was always like, I want to be a writer full time, like that was kind of my dream. To, like, you know, when you see writers go away somewhere, which, like, I just read that in that book, the Christmas Inn, the White Christmas Inn, or the Christmas Inn, or whatever it was called, the White Christmas Inn. Like, the main character, she was there because she was writing a children's book, and she took, like, the last week of Christmas to go stay in this, like, bed and breakfast out in the middle of nowhere. I think it was Vermont. And, you know, like when you see, like, writers and they go stay somewhere for, like, a month to finish a book, or they'll go check into a hotel to finish something. Like, I always wanted to do that, you know? I always thought that looked, like, very, like, sexy writer. But I think that would be fun to be down there and, I don't know, write something that takes place down there or whatever, you know? Maybe I could do that. I had an idea for a book that takes place in Florida. And I actually ran it by a literary agent, and it was not one of her favorite ideas of mine. But I loved the idea, and the idea was about this woman. And I think I've talked about this on here before, but I'll tell you guys about it again because it'll probably never come to fruition. But tell me what you think about this book idea. So it's about this woman, right? And her husband left her for somebody else, but he left her for, like, the woman in town that's, like, not, like, you know how, like, you always hear about these men that, like, leave their wives for, like, you know, the cute young thing or whatever. But he leaves his wife for, like, the woman that's, like, head of junior league and PTA and all this kind of stuff and whatever. And is it snowing? Did it just start snowing? It can't be snowing. Oh, it is 19 degrees. I guess it could. Why did I think it was 39 degrees earlier? It's 19 degrees. So anyway, and she's, like, totally miserable, and he wants his divorce and all this kind of stuff. And so she has to get this job, and she's real excited because her kids are supposed to come home for spring break. But her daughter, so she goes to work, and she's talking to her daughter on the phone when it starts. And the whole book was going to be started with the line, I always thought I'd marry the Marlboro Man. That was going to be my starting line. And so she's talking to her daughter on the phone, and her daughter's talking to her about not coming home. I think it was maybe Thanksgiving that I was going to do it. And her daughter's talking to her about, well, I don't remember, spring break, Thanksgiving, whatever, coming home, and that she's actually going to go on this trip with her dad and his new wife, or his /girlfriend, I guess, no, they're not divorced yet, his new girlfriend, and her kids, and they're gonna go to Mexico. And she's like, don't be mad. And so the mom's, like, trying to be, you know, nice to the daughter, and she's like, no. And she was, like, all excited about, like, making her favorite meal, and, you know, and she doesn't have money like the dad does. And so she was like, you know, yes, some of this does sound like the family life growing up. And so she's like, yeah, I want you to have fun. Go with your dad. And she's, like, just really hurt because she was so excited to see her daughter. Well, her son, who is, like, out of college, he's going too. So, like, her son was supposed to come home for a couple days, and they were going to, like, hang out as a family. And so they both basically left her in the dust to go with the dad to Mexico. So she is, like, sitting at home, and she gets this call on her phone, and she looks at it, and she doesn't answer it, and it's, like, her best friend from, like, high school. And this is based on, like, my mom's best friend, Diane. And so she doesn't answer it. And so she's just like, oh, I'm going to get a glass of wine and I'm going to sit down here and talk to her. So she gets a glass of wine. She's, like, sitting on the floor, and she calls, and her friend's mom answers, actually, and says that this cancer that she had has come back. And she is in the hospital, and that she has, like, days to live. And if she wants to come and say goodbye to her, she needs to come now. Well, this woman's terrified to fly in a plane. So she's like, I don't know how I would get down there, blah, 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 whatever. And the mom's just like, you know, I think that you should try to come down here. So she has, like, the marriage is not fine, or the divorce is not final, and she has, like, this one credit card, this emergency credit card that the husband doesn't know that, like, they still have open, or that, you know, whatever. And so she's like, I'm going to use this credit card. So she has to go. Oh, no, scratch that. So she goes to work the next day after talking to her daughter on the phone. And at work, like, she was supposed to go to this, like, conference thing. And it was about, like, women in the workplace or whatever. And she totally forgot about it. And her supervisor's like, you need to go now. And so she goes to this thing. And when she's there, it's this woman that's written this book. And the book is called, like, Change Your Life in 30 Days, which would be the name of my book, Change Your Life in 30 Days. And so she goes to this thing, and, like, this woman is, like, has, like, every chapter of this book is, like, a different way to change your life over the course. So every day is, like, a chapter. And so she goes up to her at the end, and she's, like, signing, you know, she's autographing these copies of this book. And she's like, do you really believe this? And she's like, I believe it because I did it. And she's like, you really believe it because you did it? And she's like, yes. And so she goes back to work to, like, clock out or whatever after this conference thing that she has to do. And her boss, like, calls her into her office, and she's like, I just don't feel like your heart is in the job. Like, what do you need to do? And she's like, I quit. She, like, quits on the spot, or she gets fired or quit. I don't know how I had it originally outlined. So she goes home. That's when the phone call happens with a friend. And so she's sitting there, and she gets just drunk on this wine, feeling sad about her life and her friend and everything else, and her marriage and her job, and everything's just a disaster, and she's a disaster and everything. And she's like, F it, I'm gonna go down there. And so she packs all of her bags and stuff like that. And, like, the next morning she wakes up, like, or the next middle of the afternoon she wakes up, and she's, like, hungover, and she's like, I can't, like, what am I thinking? I can't go to Florida. And something happens, I can't remember, I have this in my outline, but she's like, I have to go. And so she goes, and she's, like, terrified. And, like, at first, like, she's driving through, like, in the snow. She's driving through the snow to get there, because, of course, it takes place in Indianapolis to Florida, right? And so she gets down there, and literally, like, has driven, like, straight through the night. And right when she gets there, like, her best friend has died. And she's like, I drove all this way to say goodbye to my best friend, and she just died. And so her mom's like, you know, like, this whole thing happens. Her mom's like, I'd really like you to stay and help, you know, plan the funeral and all that kind of stuff, and maybe help me go through some of her stuff. And she's like, yeah, I don't have anything to go back to. So she goes, and she has this credit card, and she checks into this hotel. And, like, they only have, because it's, like, spring break, they only have, like, this suite available. And she's like, just book it. And so she ends up booking, like, 4 nights in this suite with this credit card. And so anyway, then she goes to the beach, and she's like, she's sitting in, like, the gay section of Miami. So if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, like, right on off of Ocean Drive, there's, like, an area of the beach, like 12th and Ocean, that's, like, all gay. Like, when you go out on the beach, it's, like, umbrella, you know, rainbow umbrellas and stuff like that. And so she's sitting there, and she's clueless, and she doesn't know that these guys, and she's talking to these guys that are about her age. And there's this one guy, and he's, like, older guy, and he's got, like, a Hawaiian shirt on, and, like, you know, just normal bathing suit. And he's sitting there with all of them, and they're like, oh my God, you have to come to our party and all this kind of stuff. And she thinks they're, like, hitting on her, right? and she doesn't get it. And so the guy's like, well, let me do your hair and whatever. And so he's like, so she has like real long hair, and so she goes to get her hair cut by this guy later in the day, and he's like, come to the party. And she's so embarrassed that she didn't know that they were gay, and she thought they were hitting on her or whatever. So she gets her hair cut, and she gets like this real short deal, like gets her hair cut like in this cute little bob kind of thing. And so anyway, he's like, come to my party, you'll meet all these people. And she's like, I'm so embarrassed, no. And he's like, yeah, you might meet a man. And she's like, oh yeah, right, like at one of your parties. And so she goes to this party anyway. She ends up talking to this guy on the beach, this like attractive older man that she met. And she's like drinking, and she's drinking like whiskey on the rocks, and they're all like drinking this like certain kind of like whiskey or whatever, and he's not drinking. And so she thinks he's gay because he's at the party. And this is where Tanya, when she says tell me a book or tell me a movie, this is what she means. Like she likes, like when I come up with book ideas, she wants me to tell her the whole book idea from beginning to end. So anyway, and I'm telling you way too much if I ever wanted you to read this book. So she meets this guy, and so each chapter of the book, like chapter 1 would be called like 0 Hour, and then each chapter of the book would be a chapter of the book that she's reading called Change Your Life in 30 Days, right? So like chapter 1 would be called Take a Risk. And like, do you get what I'm saying? Okay, so she meets this guy, and back in the day, I was like, I'm going to write this book, and then I'm going to go, and I'm going to speak to people about changing your life in 30 days based on this fictional character. And so anyway, so she meets this guy, and she starts talking to this guy, and he's like, you know, would you like to go for a walk or whatever? And I'd like to, you know, do you want to go back to my place for a drink? Or do you want to go back to my place or whatever? Just, he's like real friendly to her, not like hitting on her. I mean, he's hitting on her, but not like that. And she's like, I thought you were gay. And he's like, no, they're all my friends, but I'm not, you know, you can be friends with people that are gay and not be gay. And she's like, so then she's embarrassed again, right? And he's real attractive. And so he lives on this houseboat in the harbor, and he actually charters boats. He owns like 2 or 3 boats, and he charters them for people. And so he lives on this houseboat, and they go there. And anyway, there's like a story to why he doesn't drink. He's not sober. It's not about him being sober and recovery. There's like a story behind it. And then it's kind of like this love affair that occurs between them, while at the same time, like, she's afraid of the relationship because she's getting to know who she is, and she is changing over the course of 30 days. And then her kids get pissed, and her ex-husband gets pissed, and people don't like the fact that she's changing. They want her to stay her same mousy self and not be this newfound woman that she is. And I thought this would make a great book. And it was going to be called Change Your Life in 30 Days. And I pitched it to this literary agent. She's like, yeah, I don't think there's, you know, there's not really any excitement about that. Okay. I thought it was a good idea. I liked it. Anyway, I thought it was relatable. I would love to read a book like that. That's kind of how I used to, like, when I would think of book ideas, I would be like, if this is a book that I would want to read, then this is a book that I should write. Is how I thought about it. I don't know. What do you think? Wouldn't that be weird if I wrote a book in 30 days called Change Your Life in 30 Days, and I did it while I was in Florida over 30 days? Exciting things, exciting plans. All right, you guys, listen, I have got like exactly an hour, or just a little bit over an hour of my audiobook left to finish, and I want to finish it because really, to be honest, I want to find out what happens. So I'm going to finish it now. This was kind of fun, doing half of this at the house, and Alex in the background, and showing you guys some stuff, and talking about fun, exciting plans. So this is a fun little vlog tonight. Anyway, I'm going to get off here now. So if nobody else has told you this today, I love you. And don't forget that you can start your day over whenever. Well, most importantly, make sure that you reach out to somebody and let them know how much they mean to you. Just call them, text them, stop on by, send them a postcard, write them a letter, whatever. Send them a video even, you know, make them a TikTok. Also, practice random acts of kindness. Even just one throughout the day is nice. Anything, it can be anything. And doesn't even have to be anything that costs anything. And don't forget that you can start your day over whenever you want. And I hope that you guys are having a magically amazing Thursday. I love you guys. Can you believe it's almost the weekend already? Crazy. Hope you're having a magically amazing Thursday. I love you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Love ya. Oh, and for those that need to hear it, and those that want to hear it, and those that just happen to stick around, one more I love you. I love you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Happy birthday, Elena. Love ya. Bye.